Up next is Richard Reyes-Gavilan. And I want Richard, is he there?
I am here.
Richard, am I saying your last name properly?
That's good, yeah.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I'm so glad to have you here. Boy, what an institution it is that you're running in the District of Columbia, the DC Public Library. And I focused in on the Martin Luther King Library, but I think you oversee all the libraries in the district. Is that correct?
That is correct. All 26 of them.
Wow, wow. So I know we had to shut down for COVID. But where are we now as we celebrate? How do you celebrate National Library Week when the libraries are closed? So you all are doing some great things, and so maybe you're opening up. Tell me where we are.
Yeah, and Denise, thank you first of all for having me. And I'll take issue with your phrasing of the library being closed.
Okay.
We have not closed. We certainly had to shift our priorities from physical to virtual, but I can share with you some really incredible numbers over just the past year, where we've had things like 400,000 books borrowed, or 1 million ebooks borrowed, almost 2,000 virtual events on the library's Facebook page and other channels. So we've been really busy providing services online, but we've also been providing what I like to call transactional services at most of our branches are open, where you can go in and borrow a book, you can get on a computer, you can use the restroom, you can have something printed out for free. So we are offering some services. We're just not doing, obviously, the level of detailed programming that we're accustomed to prior to COVID. We are excited, obviously, about I heard you talking about the vaccine earlier, that so many more of us are getting vaccinated, and I think that gives us some flexibility in terms of expanding, and we are looking forward to expanding services in May. So more hours, more libraries, and all that information will be made available soon, I hope.
I am still stuck on the number of books that have been borrowed over there. How does that compare to a normal?
Well, for physical books, I believe it was about half as much as we had done the year before. But the thing about library users is that they're very loyal. Once you become a library, it's almost like when you become loyal to a bank or something like that. People want to get their library books come hell or high water, and they'll do that. So we're really excited about the services that we provided, even during the height of the pandemic last year.
The library has been here in the District of Columbia for 125 years. Are there any highlights or any historical facts that people need to know about that you just don't think about? I mean, how the library system grew, anything, especially when you came and said, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, you bet. So on June 3rd, we will actually celebrate our 125th anniversary as the DC Public Library. So we were around a lot earlier than DC Home Rule. And, we've got lots and lots of stories. Certainly over the past 5 or 10 years, as we've been looking at the MLK Library, this building is full of amazing stories. When we opened in 1972, this was the first memorial to Dr. King in Washington, D.C., and really one of the most significant memorials to Dr. King in the entire country when this building opened up in 1972. It was designed by one of the maybe 2 or 3 most famous architects in the entire world, in Mies van der Rohe, the great German-American architect. And beyond that, we have just a really long history of serving the public at a neighborhood level, and we're really excited about the future, especially with all the new services that we're offering. It's a lot different than it was when I was a kid.
I think back to when you say when you're a kid, and I think back to, the library has become not only from these buildings all across the city, but then we ended up, I remember on Alabama Avenue once, there used to be a little library kiosk right? A
Okay,
little
yeah.
building that was on the corner. And then, those of us that were kids remember the bookmobile, the portable or the whatever mobile
Mhm.
library that used to come through the neighborhoods. Um, and so, I know that some of those things don't exist anymore, but then they're little libraries still in communities. I know there's one, again, still one on Alabama Avenue that you'd be amazed when you go in and see how much is there. So what has the mobility of people or the library, how's the library become more mobile over the years?
Yeah. So, one thing I say all the time is that libraries are not their buildings. We really are a service, and we try to get into people's homes and communities as much as humanly possible. We actually still do have a version of the bookmobile. We call it DC on the Go, and it is a tech truck where you can go and you can learn how to use some emerging technologies, and we'll use it to distribute free books at festivals. We're in Ward 7 and 8 all the time, and we've got great partners all around the city. So it's important that that we still have some of these services that you might remember from when you were a kid still do exist. But then certainly when you start talking about everything that we can do virtually for residents, so all the programming that we offer on Facebook and all the services that we offer through the library's website, dclibrary.org. People are amazed when I tell them about not just the hundreds of thousands of ebooks that we have available for free, but streaming video and film and learning content and so much more. So it's just a wide variety of services and content that we offer, much more so than when I was a kid.
I mean, it sounds exciting. We're going to catch up with that mobile mobile, what was it, library on the go. We're going
That's
to catch up
exactly
with
right.
that. Yeah,
Very cool.
I'll get more information about that from you. That sounds really cool, as you said. So, I mean, we're again running out of time, but is there anything that you want to share with us right now that people need to know and can participate in, maybe within the next week or so?
Well, I'll tell you this. I mean, I know we're running out of time, but it is National Library Week here in DC and across the country between April 4th and April 11th. So it's a very important time for me as a library director and librarian to thank all the hardworking library staff, some of whom get a lot of credit for the great programs that they do, but many of whom are working behind the scenes to make sure that our buildings are clean and that they're safe, or that they're signing contracts in offices. A lot of people do a lot of work to make sure that our libraries are running as wonderfully as DC Public Library does. And then pivoting, I mentioned June 3rd as the 125th anniversary of DC Public Library. All of our open libraries are going to be doing backpack giveaways and new library card signups with a new 125th anniversary logo and a new DCPL logo. Very exciting, very colorful, something for everyone. And we look forward to seeing everyone out once again. Masks on.
Well, we're going to continue to share that information. It sounds like a lot of fun. And I'm so glad to see that our library is alive and thriving, and that you're at the helm and making sure that, it's accessible to everybody. And so thank you. Thank you so very much. I mean, like you said, the library lives. So, and thanks for correcting me. I think the emphasis on the fact that it's still open. It
Oh
didn't
yeah,
close.
we have been open,
Right, right.
different open.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Richard, for being with us. And we'll see you on June 5th.
Third.
3rd. Thank you. On June 3rd. Don't forget that, Shevry. June 3rd. Okay. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Denise.
All
Good
right.
talking to
Have
you
a
again.
great day. Thank you. Have a great weekend.